It's Alchemisted, and it is once again time for Star Trek Online, Rise of the Redshirt. And today, this week, we are doing Mine Enemy. Reports of illegal weapons use on Fihar lead you to evidence of greater atrocities. Oh, wow, that sounds lovely. Why don't we get started?
Starfleet intelligence has decoded the list of Riemann targets that you recovered from the vault. I need you to investigate one of these locations and determine why Obasek and his forces planned an attack there. The Vahar system is still technically part of the Romulan Star Empire, but Ferengi speculators have moved in, and the Empress has done nothing to remove them. The Ferengi have reopened the mines and are now doing business with anyone with Latinum. You will go to the Vahar system under the pretense of negotiating a possible trade agreement with the Federation. Talk to Madron, the operator of the mines. Convince him to allow you access. Find out all you can. Once we know why Obasek and the Riemans are targeting these mines, then we will be able to decide how to proceed.
And as your reward, you will get a Horta hatchling, a Horta mineralogy. What is... Cough, cough. Hang on. Wait. The Horta hatchling, it's a non-combat pet, that I understand, but Horta mineralogy research? What do you need that for? The reason you would get the Horta mineralogy research was because in the old crafting system, you could use that, the Horta combat pet, and some random, like particles you scan from anomalies and crafting tchotchkes and all the stuff, the particles that you scan used to drop. You would use those to craft a Horta combat pet. I don't know if you can still do that though in the new crafting system. Can you do that? Special projects. Let's see. It would have to be under special projects. But all I see down here is like training manuals for shit. Filters. Show all tasks. All right, let's show all tasks. Maybe it's in here. It's the same thing for the Delta Flyer. There's a mission that gives you like a Delta Flyer shuttle or a Delta Flyer schematic, and you could craft a Delta Flyer. That's how I got mine. I didn't buy it. Qualification command. Yeah, that's all tasks. I'm not seeing a Horta down here at all. Okay, let's see. Filter, show all tasks. Yeah, this is for like tech upgrades and shit. This is just officer training and like tech upgrades. I don't know if you can do that anymore. And if that's the case, then that's a really bizarre thing to have. That's really fucked up to still have that in there. It's just like the schematics from the vault. Like, why would this still be here? Huh. I'm getting like a really bad feeling, like 2 missions into this arc, that it really needs to have some TLC as far as bringing it up to bringing it up to spec with the rest of the game, at least. Like, if you're going to provide a reward in a mission, provide a reward that somebody can actually use. They provide a lockbox, but you're not going to you're going to waste it on those. You're going to get the vendor trash or the Horta hatchling. Do not get the lockbox. But I don't have to worry because you're not going to take that. So we're going to keep going. But that's odd. That's super weird. Let's see. Activate this item to assign duty officers to decode the fragment. Oh, Okay, so that's how it works. So they've actually okay. So they've actually put that as part of the DOF system now. Okay, okay. Well, do I still have the schematics that I looted from the? No, I don't have them on me. Okay, well, I might have to try that. Might have to try that. Might have to try that. Let's see. Make you primary and transwarp to you. Green! Oh, okay, they're not green. They're blue. Has any... Jesus! Did I just, like, spawn inside of the sun? No, I spawned in next to the sun. This game just, like, Elite Dangerous to me like crazy. You gotta love, like, FTL and Elite Dangerous. Like, arriving at a place is just, like, whenever you arrive at a system, you arrive facing the sun. Just like, that first FTL traverse is kind of a pants-wetting moment. I was like, oh, I wonder what's in this system! That is kind of a cool shot. That is kind of a cool shot, if I do say so myself. I don't know why I'm sounding like Bill Clinton. I haven't looked at the election results. I should probably do that later. Let's see. I just dated this video like crazy. Let's see. Begin mine enemy. Not your enemy. Mine enemy. Although it is an enemy in a mine. Let's see. Captain, the Remans were targeting a magnesite mine in this area, but the list we recovered didn't have its exact coordinates. I know we're in the right area, but all of the moons in this system are inhabited and our sensors are being affected by the magnesite. We'll need to contact each moon to try and determine which one the Remans were actually targeting. He started sounding a bit like Londo there, and I don't know why. So, this one turns into an attack, that one turns into somebody yelling at me to get the hell away, and that one's the one that we want to go to. I am using the Terran Task Force engines. I think they look very nice. They're more consistent with the impulse, with the actual, like, impulse engines on the model than, like, the blue exhaust is. And they're not, like, super long, which I also like. They look like rocket exhaust. Although impulse engines by the TNG era aren't really rocket engines. Like, they're rocket engines in, like, the time of TOS and such, but by the time of TNG, they're more like micro-warp drives, basically. Like, the saucer section can achieve low warp and, like, maintain it with its impulse engines. They're really, like, really super scaled down, like, warp drives. I just want to see if it will let me just get this right off the bat. No. It doesn't matter which one you pick. You stuck your nose in our business for the last time, Starfleet. You're awfully far away. You know, with a Galaxy-class battleship slowly advancing on you, this would be a good time to leave.
Warning, ship is under attack.
I warned him. You know, if I had the ability to, like, sneak past encounters in this game or let people go, like, half of the encounters in this game to the majority of them, I would have just let live. You know, just like, listen, look at me, look at you. Look at the ship that I'm in, look at yours. This is not going to end well for you. So just go away. Like, I would totally let most of the enemy encounters in this game live. Because I'm a nice guy. I'm a Starfleet officer. I didn't sign up to wipe out, like, I didn't sign up to depopulate the Klingon Empire, for fuck's sake. I signed on to explore. To visit strange new worlds and bang the locals. I didn't sign on to friggin', like, blow shit up. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a nice perk, but it happens a little too often for my conscience to kind of, you know, say it's okay. Like, sometimes somebody tries to kill you while you're on safari, and I guess that's fine, but, you know, gotta defend yourself and all. But still, this game looks real good in space. I'm really glad ground is being brought up to the same level as the space graphics have been for a while, because this game looks real good. This moon is private property. No solicitors, beggars, or Starfleet allowed. They're not very hospitable around here, are they? This is a dangerous area, and it's only gotten worse since the destruction of Romulus. It might be difficult to get someone to trust us. I also like these impulse engines. Like I said, they're much more. Like I said, they're much more consistent with the model's color. They're not red. They could have, like, if they were just a bit more red, not like red, but just a bit more red. You know, like a nice red orange, as opposed to straight up orange. That would have been really cool too. But as it stands, it looks really nice. There's supposed to be like warp engine trails, but those are. It's kind of a crapshoot if those ever show up. The graphics engine just does show its age. But this looks super nice. Got some nice bloom on the nacelles. Not as much bloom as they used to have, though. Like, the nacelles used to be a lot brighter with the bloom, because I think I cranked it up as high as it would go. But yeah, the nacelles used to be, like, almost white, like, surrounded by, like, a blue bloom. They used to be super bright, and now not as much. It's not quite Bridge Commander level bloom. Bridge Commander, if you, like, put the bloom up, it was, like, friggin' crazy. Bridge Commander could have, like, nonsense bloom attached to everything. Especially if you downloaded a mod. I really do like these impulse trails, though. They are very nice.
Hello, my good friends. I'm so happy to meet you. Perhaps you are in the market for some high-quality magnesite. We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please, transport to the surface. Unfortunately, the large amounts of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little orb will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense. Also, I know you Starfleet types are so fond of your away teams, but could you please restrict the number of crew you bring down to the surface? My people aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their work, would you?
I've noticed the key to voicing a good Ferengi is to affix a shit-eating grin at all times when speaking. I'm serious. Try it. Try it next time you play a mission with a Ferengi who has a lot of dialogue that you have to read. Just put a shit-eating grin on and read out their dialogue. Just put on a shit-eating grin and talk like a used car salesman, and you've got a Ferengi. That's actually kind of speciesist, but you know what I mean. I don't mean all Ferengi. Like, obviously not like Nog or Rom or such, but like the really scheming Ferengi, who are generally the only Ferengi you run into, with one or two exceptions in this game. You know, like, you got Ferengi boffs. They can sound like however the hell you want them to sound like, but generally you're running into like the sleazy salesman Ferengi type in this game. A couple of them stab you in the back whenever you meet them, so that's just how I voice them. I don't have anything against Ferengi. Let's go ahead and head down with Lima. I think I brought Lima last time as well. Vihar. I didn't know it was pronounced with a V. I didn't remember that. Okay. So, I am equipped with my Nanopulse Edge Lurpa Mark 14 Brew. Super Saiyan Brew Lurpa. And that moment you realize that because you're an OG player who was there for the original winter event, you can upgrade your Lurpa, and nobody else can. I've also got this thing that I've been wanting to try out. This, I think they just took like RoboCop's pistol and like made it big. They embiggened the Auto 9. Is what this looks like. It's either the Auto 9 or it's like a giant Ares Predator from Shadowrun. This thing looks mean. It's a big mean looking thing. I've also got one of the research lab kits. I took the vascular regenerator kit. Let's see. Oh, I do need to get a command kit module. I wanted to get the like the Hail of Death like kit module that is available through the command tree. But for now, I've got my own version of vascular regenerator, which is nice to have an extra heal on a tactical officer who are not very good at keeping themselves alive. Oh, hi, Ray. Do you need something? What are you doing here? It's a long story. After the destruction of Romulus, I joined a group of colonists looking for a new place to settle. We chose to form a new agrarian community on Veronat, a pastoral world in the edge of Romulan space. Been there. Our colony was attacked and destroyed. I managed to evade the attackers and get off-world with a small group of people. My luck ran out here, and I've been stuck ever since. What kind of work do you do? I'm a biochemist by trade. I specialize in hemocyanin, a division of hematology working with copper-based blood. On Veronat, I handled a lot of issues related to food compatibility and local biochemistry. These days, I mostly handle minor medical issues and nutritional deficiencies for the people living here. I've managed to stay out of debt, but I can't afford passage off this moon, and I don't know how long that will last. Let's see. So I could ask her if she's heard of anything strange locally, or I could just recruit her onto the damn ship. I like this. I like when I stumble across this. Like you have an ability, like, if anything, your character has an eye for talent, it seems. So, and occasionally you'll run across an NPC and you're like, I like the cut of your jib. Get on my ship. You know, or something along those lines. Given your skill set, I could arrange grant of asylum for you aboard my ship. I will be grateful for any chance to leave this place. I promise that I will work hard. And I got a Doff. I like that. I like it very much. Let's see. Duty officers. It won't. Let's see, roster. There we go. So, let's see. That looks nothing like the NPC I just talked to. Let's see. Improves healing when using science kit powers to heal humanoids with copper-based blood. So, if you have a Romulan, Reman, Rigelians, and Vulcans, like, your heals will do better. Improves amount healed by science powers used on individuals. With copper-based blood. Okay, so it basically says the same thing twice. That's interesting. She's cunning, emotional, resilient, and unscrupulous. Okay. Not an amazing Doff, but it's a very... I imagine if you're playing as a Republic character, running into another Veronat survivor and recruiting them into your ship would be much more significant. So yeah, I like that that's there. Oh, she's gone. It actually removed the NPC from the map. Did she beam up? I didn't notice. That'd be cool if the NPC beamed up and here's your Doff. That's cool. I like that. It's got a nice beat. Whatever it is. Please, have you seen my brother? Tell me about your life here. See, maybe I can help. How long has he been missing? I last saw him 2 days ago. Imagine assigned both of us to work in the upper level of the mine. Toshin's drill bit broke, and he needed a new one. I knew I should have went with him. It's not safe to be in that mine alone. Now he's gone. Tell me about yourself. My life? My life is unimportant. It's my brother. I can't find him. Let's see. Why isn't it safe to be in the mine? There's a group of people down there who treat the mine like it's their own. I don't know why Madron tolerates them, but they make life miserable for the rest of us. They steal and they terrorize the weak. Once I saw them dragging a woman into the lower levels, and I never saw her again. She wasn't the only one. Many people have disappeared. I thought if my brother and I kept our heads down that we would be safe, but maybe they took him. Murderers. If they've killed my brother, I'll kill them all. Revenge does seem to be going around in this game. Is there anything else I should know? If you go into the mine, watch for the silver spheres. There are creatures in the dark. Devils. They are made of stone. Nothing can hurt them, and their touch burns. I have seen them moving around in the tunnels. Anywhere you see the silver spheres, the monsters are not far away. Those being the Hortas, which are Doffs. This was a struggle. This was a thing people wanted once upon a time. They wanted Hortas for Doffs, but no Hortas for Boff. A Horta Boff would be cool. I have no idea how that would work. The comics had Horta with like cybernetic prosthesis. Like that, they had like cybernetic prosthesis and like translators like built into them. Maybe it will work like that. I don't know. Romulan refugee. Jolan, true stranger. Have you always lived here? My family and I have been here all our lives. It's a hard life, but it is all I know. My mother used to tell me tales of the homeworld. She'd talk about the plazas on Roteg, or vacations she spent with her father on the shores of the Apnex Sea. And she would tell me about my father, who gave up his place in the military evacuation ship so she could live. He never knew he had a child. She would tell me these stories, and later, when she thought I was asleep, she would cry. Tell me about Madron. He's a fucker. Nah. He charges us too much and pays too little. He is like everyone else in this world, out for himself. But he doesn't let us starve, and if a child needs medicine, they get it. Many here grumble and hate him, but I cannot. If I were in his position and his life was in my hands, can I say that I would act differently than he does? What can you tell me about this area? Stay in the settlement. Don't go down into the mine, and whatever you do, don't leave this area. I do not wish you harm, and there are many dangers here. There is a group. They rule the mine, and they are dangerous. Even Madron fears them. If you avoid them, they will ignore you. Defy them, and they will turn on you. Last week a good man died because he would not give them what they wanted. He was not the first. There are many monsters on this moon that you would be wise to avoid. Outside of the settlement, there are packs of wild animals. If you take a werewolf from its mother when it is very young, it can be tamed. If you wait too long, they are savage. Packs of wild werewolf roam the edges of our settlement. Often they prowl the refuse piles, looking for scraps of food. A pack of werewolf can kill even a strong man. You must be careful when you are in their territory. And they are not the only monsters here. The miners tell stories about creatures made of stone who can burn you to cinders. I have not seen one of these creatures myself, but I know that many people who enter the mine do not leave it. Have you seen anyone suspicious around here? You're the first outsider I have seen in a long time. There's no reason for anyone to want to come here. Alright. Domesticated Warrigal. You don't see strangers here very often. What do you want? Tell me about your life here. What can I say? We exist. I mine because there is nothing but rocks on this forsaken planet. If I am lucky, I dig enough ore to make my quota, and Madron pays me. If he pays me, I can eat and have a warm place to sleep. If we don't make our quotas, there's nothing. Even if I do have Latin, and most of it goes to Madron to pay my debts, and the rest he takes in exchange for the supplies he imports. I would leave, but I owe too much to Madron to ever earn enough to buy my passage off this place. Besides, where would I go? Tell me about Madron. Every morning, the first thing I do when I wake is curse the Ferengi's name. Madron found this moon about 2 years after the destruction of the homeworld. Most of our equipment was broken or useless. The supplies were gone and we were starving. After some negotiations, Madron had his contracts and we had food. We're supposed to be working with him, but he is the only one who benefits from our labor. Madron owns the only working ship here, so no supplies come in without him. He negotiates all of the ore contracts, so most of his latinum goes into his pocket. And he sets the prices for food, medicine, and equipment, so everyone here owes him more than we can ever repay. He owns us now. I hate him for that, but I can't live without him. Do you get help from the Empire? The Empire? What Empire? Our Empire turned to dust with the loss of the homeworld. If you're rich or in the military, then maybe there is something. I hear that the people in Sayla's shining city and the radar system live quite well, as long as they obey her commands. For the rest of us, there is nothing but dust and regret. The Federation has sent aid. We want to help all Romulans. That sounds a little too tree-huggy, but let's see. I have heard this, but I've not seen that it is true. Are you going to go to every Romulan on every world and hand them bread? Because that is the only way you can help all of us. The strong take from the weak. Sayla and her ships are strong. The Tal Shiar are strong. Your aid goes to fill their beliefs and their bellies and heal their wounds, Starfleet. Not mine. Heal their beliefs. Heal the beliefs. Thinks Noshikins are gonna stop me from fucking you up. Oh, hi, Madrin.
On behalf of everyone on this forsaken rock, let me be the first to welcome you to Vihar. As you can see, we don't have time for pleasantries, and I'm not sharing my Tranya stash with you. So why don't we skip the chit-chat and get down to business?
Of course. I've heard you are an excellent source of magnesite. What makes your mine better than the others in this sector?
Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own. I'm just a middleman. Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I keep to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore. My operation has become one of the best in the area because of the high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need.
Do you have any more information about the mines themselves?
I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts, and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty, disagreeable business, and I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you. The miners who live near my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install soundproofing just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore I have for sale?
Thanks, but I'd like to talk to the miners first.
Really? Suit yourself. Just remember, I have an exclusive contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deals, you'll regret it.
I just have a few questions before we conduct any business. I'll be back when I'm done. Madron won't answer any questions about why the Remans might be targeting this place for fear of scaring us away from a possible sale. Perhaps if we ask some of the locals about what's going on here, they'll be able to provide more information. Alright. Let's go question some miners. Okay, can't rough up any bullies yet. Romulan Surveyor. I'm sorry, I can't really talk at the moment. I had to finish a survey of the area so the miners can start work on a new mine shaft. Is there anything I can do to help? As much as I'd appreciate someone else to lug around the heavy equipment, it's all very delicate, and I'd only trust a capable scientist to help me. If I encounter someone who can help, I'll send them your way. It really sucks that you can't have your boff do this stuff if they're a science or officer or engineer or tactical officer. It really sucks that you can't bring a boff and like cover like your bases as far as like what you can do. I mean, Lima's a doctor, or she's supposed to be a doctor. It also sucks that you can't select, like, a discipline of officer that they are. You know, they're a science officer, sure, but that's all, like, there's more to, like, science, like, there's, like, multiple disciplines of, like, scientific inquisition. I think that's what I meant. Like, there's more. I actually read an article. This was a couple of years ago, that said that science needs to die. And I don't mean like science itself, like not like science, like not science really, you know, not like archaeology, like physics, medicine, like science like not science in and of itself needs to die, but the popular image of like the bow tie and lab coat, like that ridiculous sort of like Bill Nye the Science Guy image people have of scientists needs to like die in a fire. Because like it's not like science doesn't need to die, but science, science, like the popular sort of ridiculous fictional portrayal of science needs to sort of like go away. And I agree in part. I do wish you could select like some discipline of science officer. Because in the books they actually the books stop referring to the person looking at the sensor readouts as a science officer. Like, they're in the science division of Starfleet, but they're referred to as a sensor analyst. And I like that better. I think that's a better thing to call them than a science officer. Because what the fuck is a science officer? Like, really, what the fuck is a science officer? He does science. He's the science officer. He does sciencey things. It sounds too much like he's the mage of the party, It sounds too much like he's our space magic guy. He tells us what the space magic means. He's our bard. He knows all the bardic lore. So when we find like something, when we find like some sort of like space thing, he rolls his dice and he like rolls bardic lore and he can tell us what they are. That's what it always felt a little too much like for me. But yeah, she's still a science officer, so like given the mechanics of the game, it would be really nice if having a division officer along would let you do stuff that division can do. Like, if I brought Ike, for example, Ike is the chief engineer of my fucking ship. I'm pretty sure he can handle whatever the fuck they can throw at him. So why can't he do, like, whatever engineering sub-objective is there? Why do I have to leave? Like, I got a science officer in my party. Why do I have to leave all those people to die on, like, the Azura at the very beginning of the game? Just because I'm not a science officer. I've got a science officer right there! It's fucking stupid. So this guy gives us the tactical objective, which is to go rough up some bullies, which is what I was about to do. I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anyone. I'm on the run, and if those thugs see me talking to you, then you'll be in danger too. Is there anything I can do to help? I need someone who's not afraid of a fight. There's a group here that are beating and stealing from us. Adrian doesn't do anything to stop it. For all I know, he's getting a cut of everything they take. They're making life miserable for all of us. Would you be willing to help? Count me in. And like an idiot, I just completely forgot to fucking... refugee. And like an idiot, I just completely forgot to unmute myself. So, yeah. I just read this whole thing out. So I'm going to do it again. There's a group of bullies that have been stealing from us. If we don't give them what they want, they beat us. I had a friend. All he was trying to do here was feed his family. Be a good man. He had an old bottle of ale. He said it was from the homeworld. One of those thugs wanted it. Now my friend is dead. I'm too weak to stop them, I know that. And now I have my friend's children to feed in addition to my own. But if someone were to teach them a lesson, this camp would be a better place for all of us. And by teach them a lesson, he means kill them. Kill them with extreme prejudice, which is what we're going to do. Because I must, and this game gives me no choice in the matter. Really, I would just rough these guys up and let them go. But let's see what this can do. That was... Interesting. What's up? Okay, I'll go away. Alright, nope. I will kick the shit out of you. Okay. Badron will not be pleased. I am not pleased. Okay, so what happens if I just... Okay, he dead. So I have... Let's see. Sweeping strikes. Biomolecular photon grenade. Lunge. And that's threatening stance. Or that's threatening posture. One of them. So I've got Rally Cry. Okay. So, really quick, special items and boxes. Command modules. I can buy these. There is like a friggin' orbital strike. Yeah, there it is. 5 level 60 bombing strike charges in a straight line between you and the targeted foe. Oh, that's lame as fuck. I was expecting that to be like a goddamn fucking orbital strike. Okay, well, there goes my interest in the command modules. Alright, so I only need to find one more dude who needs help. Looks like he's this way. Let's see what this does to you.
Enemy targets on set. Prepare for combat. Personal shield losing power. Take cover. Flanking damage detected. Take evasive action.
Alright. Return to bullied refugee. Not really feeling this rifle. Not really feeling this thing. Thank you. Those guys have been giving everyone a lot of trouble. These thugs are part of a larger group that operates deep inside the magnesite mine. They control the lower levels, and no one who goes down there uninvited ever comes back. I don't know what's so important down there that it's worth hurting us to protect it. Maybe if you went down there, you could get some answers. Alright, well, let's go talk to Madron and wring his scrawny little neck and demand some answers from him. I cannot wait for the revised ground controls to make it to PC. Since they're porting this game to consoles right now, that makes me nervous. Since they're porting games to consoles, they've basically given the ground combat, or ground controls like a Mass Effect style like radial wheel, which will be a lot more useful than this tray that I've got right here. Especially considering that I gotta do this to like use powers, and like trying to like navigate a tray like this in the middle of a friggin' firefight, that is not happening at all. I cannot understand for the life of me how people can use shooter mode. But with the control redesign, if I can set ground to always be in shooter mode and space to always be in RPG mode, I'll be set. I will like that a lot. Fugitive support network. Success.
You want to go into the mine? Are you really interested in buying any magnesite, or are you just here to cause trouble? Because if it's the latter, I know someplace you can start a little ruckus. There's a gang that controls the bottom levels of the mine. They won't even let me in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information, but lately they've been more trouble than they are worth. And the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the Breen invasion of Deferi space?
Ah, foreshadowing. Nice, I like that. I'll take that information to heart. I'm not sure if that last bit about the Deferi was originally in there. In fact, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But that's a nice little bit of foreshadowing to the Breen featured episode series. I don't know what it's called. Like, I don't remember what its actual name was. Sub-Zero? I don't think so. It was a stupid cold pun. It wasn't Cold War. Server not responding. It wasn't Cold Equations because that was a book. I wasn't Out in the Cold because that's one of the missions. Hey, I am really not feeling... I'm not feeling this blaster at all, so let's go, let's take something else. What have I got? Got a phaser sniper rifle. There's a pulse wave assault split beam rifle. Might be useful. That might work. Got the infused Tetrion full auto rifle. Nah, I don't feel like rainbows right now. Split beam rifle. Let's go with that split beam rifle. Because I wasn't feeling the stupid thing. I wasn't feeling the Terran rifle at all. Have you pet your Tribble? Pet your Tribble, Lima. That sounds really dirty. That sounds really dirty. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna give it back to you. Now use it. She's not using her Tribble. Huh. Interesting.
Leave now.
No. Make me.
What do you want?
I'd like to enter this area. This area is restricted. Only people my friends and I like may enter, and I don't like you. See, diplomacy. I'm very likable. Just ask Madrin. See, maybe if you got to know me a little better, you'd learn to like me. I wonder if you'll like my weapon. I'm pretty sure both of these just lead to a fight, so I'm gonna try diplomacy. Madrin. That bigger money grubber doesn't know the first thing about what really happens here. All he does is collect his latinum and make the miners miserable. That's strange. He suggested that you provide him with information as well as magnesite ore. Maybe you should tell me what's going on here. This is more than a mine, isn't it? But I suppose he wouldn't mind if you disappear. I'll do diplomacy again. Oh, it's information you want? Allow me to provide a free sample. Leave right now. Otherwise, well, there's a lot of ways to get injured in a mine, and it would be a shame if something happened to you and the magnesite prevented your crew from beaming you back to your ship in time. I'm not here for the magnesite. I was told that there was someone here I could deal with discreetly. Are you that person or not? See, I'm done dealing with you. I think I need to speak to your superior. Accidents can happen. My weapon, for example, it could accidentally discharge at any time. Diplomacy. What makes you think we have anything to sell besides rocks and magnesite? People looking to sell ore don't usually have security caves with guards giving out complimentary interrogations to anyone who gets near. Lucky guess. Or did I say buy? I meant take by force. Fine, fine. You're Janek's problem, not mine. I'll let her know you're on your way. Yeah. You can kill the guard if you want, but like I said, if I have the choice, I'm gonna let somebody go, because I kill a shitload of people in this game, as it is. Grenade! Beams! More beams! All the beams! My boot! In your face!
Take cover.
There is actually supposed to be a lot more people in here. Let's see, examine Romulan campsite. Captain, there's a series of pressure plates located in this area. They're low-tech, but the Romulans may have had to resort to outdated security measures because of interference from the magnesite veins in the cavern. The problem is that the magnesite is making our tricorders almost useless. If there's anything on this moon that the Remans would want to eliminate badly enough to use Thalaron weapons, it has to be here. We're going to have to figure out how to use the pressure plates to reveal whatever the Romulans are trying to hide. I suggest that we need to activate 2 of them to open the door. I'm tongue-tied. Tongue-tied. Yeah. Here's a really bad puzzle for you. No, on top of it, Lima. No, Lima. Get on top. That's another really dirty sounding thing. There we go. There's another thing that I am, like, really not sort of... Damn it, it's like my intent is innocent and pure. Now get on top and pet your tribble. It's just not sound right. What a hard puzzle. Okay. I do like this next room. Okay. No. Passive. I do not want to go on a killing spree in here.
I give the orders here, Commander. You are out of line.
With all due respect, sir, there's a difference between protecting the Empire from her enemies and provoking
There is
them.
much here you do not understand, Janek. The Remans need to know their place. As do you. I will not forget your insubordination, Commander. The Tal Shiar has no place for officers who cannot follow orders. I'll be in the command center.
Colonel, they were civilians! Their blood is on our hands!
Get used to it. There will be more. Speaking of which, why don't you clean out the brig before you become a resident there?
Hey, just a couple Starfleet officers, just hanging out. The analysts in this room look completely engaged in their work. I wouldn't be surprised if we can sneak past them without being noticed. Well, yeah, let's just go.
I almost feel sorry for you. But I have my own neck to worry about. I'll be joining you in there soon enough. If Hakiv has his way, we all will.
But I have a feeling these refugees are gonna want some vengeance, and, yeah. Let's, switch to that full auto rifle. Those refugees are gonna be bringing vengeance when we get in here. Or get out there. When we get somewhere. Find the commander's access code. Release everything! Okay, let's see, mission. Capture miner, I'm not afraid of. Janek, I'll get a weapon from the security locker. Ah. Where's Janek? What's up? Oh shit!
Flanking damage detected. Take evasive action.
You bitch!
Take cover.
You get my boot in your face for that shit. Oh. Okay, she wants to talk. I'm sorry, did you, like... Did you sprain something on your way down or something?
Enough! I surrender. I value my life more than the Tal Shiar's secrets. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But first you must tell me why you are here and what you want.
Why does the Riemann Resistance want to destroy this base?
The Remans know about this base? Impossible. Only the leadership of the Tal Shiar know we're here. The Empress herself couldn't find us. I don't believe you. But it makes no difference. This is not a military installation. We listen and record here, nothing more. There are many targets those Riemann scum would find much more tempting.
I'll need more than your word that this base is as harmless as you say.
Colonel Hakiv will want my blood for this, but take my security code. You can use it to access the control room. You'll find everything you're looking for there. You have what you need. Now please, leave me alone. The Tal Shiar will not look kindly upon my betrayal. I will need to act quickly if I am to survive.
Alright. So what's in here? Oh, there's a bunker in here. I don't remember this room being here. Is this something that was added for lore? Is this something you mess around with in lore? Because I know you're like a Tal Shiar agent at some point in lore. Well, let's get this slaughter started, because I'm pretty sure these guys are going in guns blazing. Let's see. Romulan Empire activity. Empire's fucked! Observed from Holofeed on Radar 3. Increased power use in Royal Palace indicates that lower levels may be in use. Senator Shemek is accepting bribes in exchange for allowing progress on trade agreements. Hirogen representatives meet with Sela. Riemann representative removed from Senate chamber. Opposition leader Tayton assassinated. 3 reunification proponents arrested. Agents for Sela meet with True Way leaders near Badlands. Interesting. Tau Dewa. Observed from live intelligence in Republic space. Archaeological activity indicates that a recent excavation has revealed an unexpected high-value find. Attempts to capture colonists of putative Mulrihan meeting with resistance from mixed forces. Federation Starbase 234 engaging in defensive training exercises. Long-range social destabilization of Acamarian culture underway. Tholian activity correlated with temporal anomalies near Azure Nebula. Cloaked assets monitoring construction of listening posts in Jarrett system. So there's a lot of callbacks and some call forwards in there to the New Romulus stuff, which we will see soon. So someone is stuck in here? No. Come on. You know, I can't help but feel like I'm missing some miners here. Did someone, like, kill everybody in here while I wasn't looking? Did they literally just, like, swarm? Did some of them just run into this place and off everyone? Holy shit. Starfleet activity. Captain Sulu has applied for transfer to the front lines of Klingon conflict. Admiral Quinn under medical care for heart condition. Intercepted Starfleet medical records indicate that the condition is fully treatable and not a suitable target for exploitation. 7th Fleet entered neutral zone as part of a routine series of exercises. Franklin Drake heading extended operation in Eta Eridani. Starfleet Command considering new tactics in conflict the true way. Starfleet intelligence concerned with the rise in war profiteering by independent Ferengi and Dopterians. The hell are you guys made of? Jesus. Chancellor Jempok facing increasing challenges from members of the High Council loyal to House of Martok. Alliance between House of Jempok and House of Duras is weak. The situation is highly exploitable. Recommend we seek agents on Kronos. Many members of discommodited House of Torg have been absorbed into House of Duras. KDF leadership angered by High Council's mandate to work more closely with Klingon intelligence. Fekleri forces in region massing under new leadership. Melani Dian seen entering home of Drax, son of Martok. Gorn push for representative on High Council rejected. Rejected the Gorn. Rar. Resistance is futile. Yeah. It's kind of like all you really need to know about the Borg. Tapa Council petitions Federation to fund Lacarian City infrastructure projects. 47 injured in bombing at University of Kulat. True Way claims responsibility for attack. Tapa Council passes bill allowing Cardassian government to seize assets of persons convicted of terrorist activity. Councilor Mariam Okanda resigns. Starfleet sending advisors to Cardassia Prime to advise government on security issues. Consular Evala introduces resolution calling for Cardassia to apply for Federation membership. Bill stalls in committee. Ministry of Trade extends agreements with Ferengi to market Cardassian-made transport vessels and phaser banks. See, Holofeed enlisting post Hephaestus. Janek is fighting with Hakiv. Again. Hakiv takes shuttle and leaves base for 2 days. Long-range sensors mark his progress in neutral zone. 6 miners held for questioning. Chief Medical Officer reports 2 cases of Levodian flu. 6 encrypted messages sent from Colonel Hakiv's console to unknown recipient. Recommend that transmissions be investigated further. Now, you don't need to go this way, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Oh my god. Let's see. Ensign Kryman is dead. Hakeem ordered him to explore the tunnels. We found organic remains, and his fully discharged disruptor was nearby. It looked like he had been melted. I think we should wall off this section of the mine and not disturb the creatures down there. 6 people have already died. 5 were minors and therefore expendable. But Kryman showed promise. I know that in time he would have been a fine officer. I've asked Colonel Hakib to request reinforcements. If he's determined to kill people exploring this mine, let him kill recruits. Is this the same thing? Yeah. What about you? Yeah. They're the same thing. Ah. I'm stuck. I'm stuck! Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What are you doing? There we go. Whew. We were drilling near when we broke through a wall into a chamber that hadn't appeared on our scans. Blasted magnesite. It blocks everything. Sensors, tricorders, they're all useless. The chamber is large and should be suitable for an expansion of the base. There were several spherical orbs in it. We have yet to determine the nature of these orbs, but Janek thinks they are pretty. She kept one for her quarters. I've asked for permission to study the orbs. They remind me of a Federation report I read once. I can't remember the details, but it was something about the Janus system. Yeah, this is all building up to the reveal that it's a Horda. Yeah, it's all the same thing. It's a Horda. Also, you know, there is such a thing as, like, ground-penetrating radar. Or, like, ground sonar. Like, paleontologists use this stuff... Paleontologists use this stuff all the time. Basically, you fire a shotgun shell into the ground, and you use a sonar assembly.
Personal shield losing power. Take cover.
No kill I. No kill I. The message is burned deep into the floor of the chamber. Acid sizzles around the edges of the letters. So yeah, talking to the Horda will get you... Going this way and talking to the Horda will get you a little Chivo and a nice trophy. So yeah. Yeah, you could have easily seen this with like ground sonar. Just like literally, it's literally just like a shotgun shell that they like fire into the ground, and they just like read the concussion waves that bounce back up. They did it in Jurassic Park. If you've ever seen Jurassic Park, that's what they're doing. That's how they find like the dinosaur bones. Is they or that's how they like detect some dinosaur bones at their dig site. Is they like fire this ground penetrating. They fire like the ground sonar in, and then they like all group around like a shitty like CRTV to like look at what the sonar is saying. I got like a friggin' posse with me. Door is unlocked. And I am going to be switching to nothing because the goddamn Centurions are trigger happy as fuck. I just Zandatsu'd that Centurion. I just rules of nature that Centurion. I did not intend to do this. I did not know I could attack that quick. Makes me wonder why I haven't been able to do that at all. Rules of nature. Get over here. I do want to try a more melee-oriented build with Drake. I think that's what I'm going to do. Make the most out of this nanoparse. Make the most out of this nanoparse lurper. Nanoparse lurper, yes. Make the most of it. Jesus, what the hell's going on with his face? That's some weird shadowing going on. That's all kinds of messed up. It makes him look like he's got eye black on. Holy shit. It does. It makes him look like he's got like fucking eye black on. Like he's gonna be like walking onto the pitch. What the fuck? Insignificant beings.
How did you find this place? What else do you know? No
Everything.
matter. You won't be revealing anything to your superiors.
I will.
It's disappointing I cannot give you a proper interrogation. But I have much to do and little time.
So I'm going to keep talking to you.
The self-destruct sequence has begun. This base will be your tomb.
Well, first things first. Download Hakib's porn stash. Reactor is going critical. We need to get out of here, but not before we find out what is so important to Hakib that he'll destroy this base to protect it. Alright, we got it. Let's go. Faster, 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 faster. Would you guys hurry the fuck up? I mean, it's not like the whole place is coming down on top of us. You're not timed. It's mainly just like there as a fun little escape sequence. I mean, you're not dealing with like Metroid level shit. Though that would be nice. I do love myself a nice little like timed escape sequence. Two, three, four. Okay. This might be the first time I've gotten all 4 miners out. Unless I started with more miners and they died. But I've got 2 sets of twins out, so that's something. Okay. You guys are all twins, so whoever reacts adversely to the Borg nanoprobes, I need to shoot, because you're probably an Undine. Don't see any adverse effects. Also, what rifle is that? Because it looks cool. That looks like is that just like a really dark version of the shitty plasma rifle model that they have? I think it is. It's just a really dark version of it. Okay, well, it looks like they're not Undine. They would have at least gotten hives from the Borg stuff, so let's go ahead and clear out. Just walking along like nothing happened. Everything's normal. Nothing's going on.
My mine! What have you done to my mine?
There was an infestation of Tal Shiar spies in there. I just fumigated.
Tal Shiar! I am shocked! I have no idea! I certainly wouldn't have sent you down there if... Say, you didn't happen to find anything valuable down there, did you? Because if you did, remember that I have an exclusive contract.
Stop with the lies, Madron. I know you knew who and what was down there.
And what's it to you? This is a rough area of the quadrant, you know. And they're good neighbors. If you're not easily embarrassed. Their cameras and listening devices are everywhere. I haven't had a single problem with Orions or Erosians since they moved in. And it doesn't hurt that I acquired the odd bit of information here and there. I'm a businessman, and information is big business.
Do you know anything about what they recently discovered?
Unfortunately, no. I'll admit, I was trying to find out, but their systems were locked down tight. I'm sure whatever it was had to be big news. Everyone was on edge. Janek and Hakiv were barely speaking, and I once heard Hakiv mumbling something about orders. Someone's been pulling his strings, but I don't know who. I do know that Tal Shiar takes security very seriously. If you manage to pull any files from their system, you can expect them to be heavily encoded. Trust me on that. I speak from experience. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go talk 100 Romulans into digging a new mine to replace the one you destroyed. My profit margin for this month is ruined.
Treat these miners well, Madron, or I'll be back. Madron doesn't seem to know much, or at least he's not willing to part with what information he knows without being paid. I don't think he can help us anymore. We should return to the ship and try our luck at decrypting the files we recovered from the Tal Shiar. I'm sure that they will be more useful than anything Madron has to say. Go to your ready room or conference room and decrypt Tal Shiar files. Okay, return to ship. Now, here comes something that I wish they did a lot more often in this game. So here we are. We're in space. It's nice. It's cool. It is very cold in space. Thus, by default, it is very cool. So we're going to go to our starship bridge, and we're going to finish the mission. Or we'll get disconnected from the server. Whichever happens first. Really? So the bridge looks a bit different. This is supposed to be one of the Olympic bridges, but I decided that I was going to use this one. We'll see how it looks when the new lighting engine kicks in for ground. I imagine this will look a lot better than it does right now, but it already looks pretty cool. It does kind of have, like, this bridge does kind of have like a 25th century galaxy class aesthetic. Or at least it's getting into the right neighborhood for it, you know? And they could use some, like, extra seating here, and especially here in front, because there aren't many chairs in that half of the bridge, unfortunately. I mean, along the sides there are, and I do like that some of the chairs are askew, although these look like straight-up roller chairs. I don't imagine that's going to go very well when the ship is being jostled about, as they tend to be. Even worse if you're standing up, mind you. Although, maybe they're magnetized to the floor? Maybe we could roleplay it that way. Yeah. The chairs are fine because of magnets. That works. But yeah, it's a nice bridge. And here is something that I wish they did more often. What can I use this console for? Certain missions will give you files you can examine from this console. Yeah, I wish they used the interiors for more than just a couple missions. Like, if you were able to do stuff in the interiors, or, like, do stuff that allowed you to delegate from the interior to complete a mission. Like, go down to, like, an engineering lab and, like, work with somebody on, like, doing something. Like, they really need to flesh out the interior of this game. Because, like, the shows, with one exception, Star Trek is set on the ship. Like, the ship is... Picard says it himself in, like, First Contact, is we tend to think of the ship as our home. You know, not a starbase or what have you. Like, starbases are just, like, a place you vacation for a while, but then, you know, it's time to, like... Once the ship's, like, supplied and repaired and refitted, it's time to head back out. So... like, the ship is where they live. The ship is the social zone, or it's the crew's social zone, to put it more specific. That's what these ships really should be, is they should be your own social zone. That would make it a lot better, too. That would make it certainly a lot more convenient and less buggy than going to, like, Earth Space Dock and having people, like, setting off fucking party amplifiers all over the place. It would make for a much more pleasant experience. But they really do need to work on interiors. Unfortunately, interiors are very much a sort of, like, orphaned feature of the game. They just kind of, like, stopped giving a shit about them, and it's criminal that they stopped caring about ship interiors. Considering, like, just how big a role, like, the ship plays as the setting, and in some senses as a character in its own right. Like, in some, like, not just the ship itself and, like, exterior shots, but, like, the sets in the ship, you know? Like, so when you add up, like, the ship models, the ship's effects, the sets on the ship, it all sort of gives the setting of the show a personality of its own. And really makes the place the show is set, be it on a space station or a starship, like, a sort of character in its own right. And, like I said, not attempting the same in Star Trek Online when the player spends so much of their time flying around on their ship as its captain is criminal. Utterly criminal. So, this is a dialogue puzzle. So basically you have to go through and, like, read... Okay. Cross-reference with Starfleet records. See, change faulty information. You basically have to go through and just sort of, like, fix errors in the files. And this is really just sort of like a quiz on, like, Path to 2409. And as you, like, fix the files, it will, like, reveal more and more of the text in the actual file that you download, in the actual... Let's see, MD1. There we go. It'll, like, reveal more and more of the text. It's not a hard puzzle. Like most of the puzzles in this game, all you need to do is just click through stuff until, like, it's fixed. You don't even really need to know what the hell you're doing, or, like, the path to 2409. It's not very hard. It doesn't take very long to just click through everything and get through the puzzle. That's one of the reasons why that's one of the reasons for what I was talking about all the way back in, like, a fistful of Gorn. You know, just like they really do need to sort of like do some more interesting like puzzles accessible through like this dialogue, like sort of like either a mini game or like a maze if you're like intruding into like an enemy network. It doesn't have to be like a 3D maze. It can be like 2D maze or whatever, you know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go play like Shadowrun Genesis or Shadowrun SNES, and you'll see what I'm talking about with like mini games like revolving around like decrypting stuff. Just like play those, and those are a lot more involved, certainly, but also they're a lot more interesting than just like randomly clicking through a dialogue puzzle. So, like, analyze file structure, apply passkey, and there we go. Secret Riemann base detected in the Dara system. Listening post Hephaestus has detected an increase in subspace communication and ships traveling to and from the Dara system. Analysis of the communications and ship traffic reveals patterns of obfuscation normally employed by Riemann forces. Tal Shiar forces then intercepted a ship leaving the Dara system and captured 47... that fucking number again, Riemann civilians. I've mentioned this before, but the number 47 is, like, the number, like, the writers of Star Trek got so sick of the number 47 that it became a rule in the writer's room that you didn't do that anymore. Like, this, like, you have to understand, the full 47 joke ran through, like, 7 seasons of TNG, 7 seasons of Deep Space Nine, and 7 seasons of Voyager. Okay? That's essentially, that's 21 years worth of, like, television. Not in total, because Voyager and Deep Space Nine and TNG all had some overlap with each other. But in terms of, like, production, that's 7 years worth of television. Or, that not 7, but 21 years worth of television. To have, like, this one joke floating around. And about halfway through Deep Space Nine, the writers were basically sick of it. If that. I think it might have actually been, like, late TNG when they started phasing this joke out. You know, it just got sort of, like... It was done. It ran its course. So, like, yeah, the ridiculousness of the number 47 appearing constantly in the game is... it's just lazy. Like, you're referencing something because Starfleet did it. It's not Starfleet, but because Star Trek... Blah, holy shit. Because you're referencing something that Star Trek did just because Star Trek did it, and not because Star Trek did it and it was good, or it was funny. There was a point where the writers were sick of this shit, and honestly, like, the number 47 constantly popping up, just pick a number. Just pick a number. Like, the ship does not, they don't have to have captured 47 exactly, like Riemann civilians. You know, just, I don't know why it bugs me. It just does. I'm just sort of like done with this joke. The passengers and crew were summarily executed under orders of Colonel Hakeev, but the captain and first officer were preserved for questioning. Under interrogation, the captain of the Riemann vessel provided a security key that could be used to decipher encrypted communications sent to the Dara system. The decrypted messages prove that there is a base in this area of space. There's a base in this area of space being used by the Riemann Resistance. Recommendation: Tal Shiar ships should be sent to the Dara system immediately to capture the base and its inhabitants. This would be, if you are redoing this mission, this will be a fantastic time to give the Federation characters another shot at the Alachi. Because if you have played the Romulan Republic storyline, then, like, invasions of the Alachi on, like, Riemann and Romulan colonies border on, like, the invasions that happen early on in the storyline border on the apocalyptic. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, you've got, like, Elachi ships, Elachi capital ships, hovering overhead just above, like, the surface, as, like, giant walkers, like, walk in the background, just fucking leveling cities. And, like, these drones keep, like, dropping out of the sky and, like, grabbing people and, like, dragging them back to the command ship while they're, like, screaming for help. And some dark fucking... some dark, like, gruesome shit going on. No, you've got, like, corpses, like, lying everywhere. You've got, like, corpses hanging from, like, parts of buildings, and it's just fucking chaos, and it's just, it's, like, fucking insanity. And, like, you spend, like, in almost all of these situations, you're literally just running. Like, this is how the Romulan campaign starts. You're just running. You're not even trying to stop these guys. You're just trying to get out. You know, and, like, it happens again and again and again and again. You're just trying to get out. And it's great. Like, obviously it's terrible, but it's great, you know, from a storytelling perspective. And it'd be a really awesome, you know, really cool thing to, like, oh wait, we can't beam you up, we have to get to the surface. And then once you're at the surface, you've got, like, this Elachi ship overhead. You've got, like, just, like, the, you know, you're trying to, like, evacuate Remans, and it's just, like, the most fucked up evacuation ever. And there's a real sort of golden opportunity, especially to reuse the gorgeous system map that Frozen has, because there is a planetary system map in Frozen that you are on this map for a grand total of as long as it takes to hit an interact key, and then you are just... that's it. You'll never see that system again unless you're making a Foundry mission. I think it's in there. You know? You'll never see it again after that. And it's a beautiful map. And it's such a sin that you just don't allow people to, like, enjoy that map more than the space of time it takes to hit the F key to move to another map. It just sucks. You know, you really could make better use of that asset. So this would be, like, Frozen would be an amazing opportunity to, like, introduce Federation players, particularly those who've never tried the Romulan missions, like, introduce them to just, like, the sheer insanity that happens when the Elachi want something or want it dead enough to, like, attack it on the surface of a planet, enough to invade the surface of a planet. And it would be a really awesome opportunity that, unfortunately, so far, they've passed up, and I don't see them taking it if they ever remaster these missions. But they should. They should. So much. The Tal Shiar is planning an attack on a Reman base. We need to get this information to Admiral Tenay at Starbase 39 Sierra immediately. Now, you used to, like, be able to contact her there, but I can just contact her from here. I am going to sit in the chair, though, and, like, talk to her from my office chair.
The Tal Shiar records you recovered show that Hakiv and his forces have been targeting the Remans for months. Obasek and his followers have been driven from their homes, had their ships destroyed, and their loved ones killed or imprisoned. Some might say that Obasek's campaign against the Tal Shiar is just. However, Obasek was planning on using Thalaron weapons in the Fahar system, which would have killed hundreds of innocent civilians, as well as a Tal Shiar cell there. This is the problem with revenge. Violence and fury only create more pain and suffering.
So, I'm going to take this Horde of Mineralogy research and then stand up in my chair. That was fun. Do I still have... okay, I don't have the eye black anymore. That's weird. That's weird. Why was that way? So if I see... This research can be utilized to train a young Horde hatchling on using their abilities in combat to aid your away team during ground combat. You must have access to the duty officer system in order to utilize this item. Okay, requires mineralogy research and a Horde hatchling, and your reward is... it's a Horde. Okay! Okay! So you actually can use this. I take it back. That's cool. That it's a DOF assignment now. It also requires 100 duranium. So I actually do have like a Horde hatchling pet here. He's just kind of sitting there. Let's see, Crystal Horde. Let's go ahead and begin the assignment. So that consumes my Horde hatchling pet and the mineralogy research. That pet's gonna grow up to be such a badass. So where is my Horde? Okay, so in 2 hours, that Horde pet will become a full-grown Horde who will be equipped on an away team member to wreck shit. And let's see. Ren. Does Ren have a Horde? Ren does not have a Horde. Well, guess what, Ren? You're about to have a buddy. Because I'm going to give you a Horde. Yeah, Ren's like, yes! I'm going to have my own rock monster. I'm going to have a lightsaber and a rock monster. Ren's excited. Ren's pumped. Ren's ready. Yes. Yes. So I take it back. That's actually pretty good. I don't know what's going on with the pipes here. I feel like this seems to be unfinished. I think we really should speak to somebody at Utopia Planitia about getting our damn walls finished here, because this doesn't seem right. This seems like placeholder, if anything else. Like, if you were gonna do this, why not just give us the nifty holo displays that they have on Earth Space Dock? Yeah, just have a holo line both sides of the bridge with holo displays, so that when you walk by them, there seems to be a lot of empty space here that they could fill. I mean, they got something there. They've got a master situation monitor here, which, or a master situation display, which, I wish these changed based upon what ship you were in, because Revan is constantly looking at that Olympic class, which isn't really an Olympic class, because it looks nothing like the Olympic class that was in All Good Things, and never has. I don't know why they made it look like that. Was that a artifact of Perpetual? Yeah, that's still clipping to the wall. Is that still an artifact of Perpetual's time developing this game? Are they the ones who originated the bizarre version of the Olympic class? Because the Olympic class looked way different. The actual Olympic class looked way different in All Good Things. It looks way different in Countdown as well when they show up. A trio of Olympic-class ships show up after Romulus goes boom to, help with survivors. And then Nero, destroys them. He beams torpedoes and explosives on board, the defenseless medical ships, and blows them up because he's such a badass that he blows up defenseless ships. Can you tell I don't like Nero? Because I don't like Nero at all. I especially don't like him in Star Trek Nero. where IDW had him beat V'ger in a battle of wills because he was mad. V'ger, I want you to stop and think about that for a moment. IDW had Nero. Hi, Christopher, I'm Nero. They had that guy beat V'ger. In a battle of wills because Nero was upset. I hate Nero so fucking much. He could have been such a good villain, but he's just so shit. So that was Mine Enemy. It's cool. I like the Vihar surface is the best part of this. Like, I so wish that had become a social zone. Like that surface could have become something, could have been used for something so cool. I am of the school of thought. I've mentioned this before, but I'm of the school of thought of if you've went to so much effort to make a map like that, if you went to so much effort to make a map like the one that's in Frozen, that planetary map that I said is gorgeous, if you have gone to so much effort to make assets like this, or bake geometry like this, or build a map like this, it is criminal to use it only once. If you're gonna, if this location is still standing by the end of a mission, then do something with that location. Use it for something interesting in the game. Because this used to be in the Sci-FiVERSUS sector block of the old sector space maps, when they were all just sort of in small boxes before they were put into bigger boxes. This used to be the Sci-FiVERSUS sector map, and there were no social zones in it at all. There's nowhere to go to do any of the things you would need to do, because you can't do them on your ship for some bizarre reason. Like changing my ship's appearance, fine. Changing ships, fine. But why can't I have a tailor? Why do I have to go to a starbase to change my clothes? I have a tailor. At the very least, I have a quartermaster. I should be able to requisition a new uniform from them. But still, if you went to the effort to make such a really good-looking map or asset, any kind of game asset, then why use it only once? It doesn't make sense. Why not get, or in the case of that planetary map in Frozen, why not get any use out of it? But that was Mine Enemy. It's not the best mission in Cloaked Intentions. That goes to Coliseum. But, it is kind of... The thing about Mine Enemy is there's nothing really revolutionary about it. It's just kind of, you have, the Vault, which was your first real introduction to shuttlecraft in this game. So that was a big deal when it came out. And people were sort of, the forums were abuzz with people just sort of, talking, singing the praises of this mission and talking about all the potential that shuttlecraft had, which they didn't live up to, but that's a discussion from another day. And then you went from that mission that was entirely in a shuttle, flying around these huge interior environments, dodging sensors and all kinds of stuff, and fighting as point defense basically for a larger ship. And then you went straight to Mine Enemy, which is kind of more of the same in a better designed mission than normal. That's what Mine Enemy really was, and Frozen is really more of the same as well. It's a better designed mission than you would have normally had in early 2011. I think I've established by now, through the Klingon arc, through the old Romulan arc, and through me, Ice, and Andrew's run of the Cardassian arc, that the mission quality of this game was not very good at about the time these missions were coming out. So, yeah. It's certainly a better mission than what we had. And Frozen is, again, the same. It's shorter. It's much shorter than Mine Enemy. But it's basically the same. It's a better designed mission than what we had. It's got some cool cutscene stuff, but it isn't really until Coliseum again that the missions start doing something interesting. You know, that the mission starts telling a story in an interesting way. Coliseum could have been a television episode. You could have, Coliseum could have been an episode of the original series. It could have been an episode of Deep Space Nine or Voyager or TNG. It could have been a really good television episode. And instead, it's a really good mission. And it's the first of the missions in these featured episodes that are just like that are my favorite missions in this fucking game. It's the first of those. It is really good. It's sort of the proto-Temporal Ambassador in a way. The way Temporal Ambassador could have been a TV episode. Coliseum could very easily have been a TV episode. And then Cutting the Cord, of course, but we'll get to that. But that's Mine Enemy. It's good, along with the rest of Cloaked Intentions. And I'll see you guys next time for Frozen. So until then, later.